Does the pharynx impact the sound your students are making? Hi, my name is Maddie Tarbox, and welcome back to one of our famous free anatomy lessons. The pharynx is a space, not a muscle. It's the space that goes from the glottis up to the nasal cavity, but all behind the hump of the tongue. A lot of teachers like to refer to this as the back room of your vocal instrument. It's often separated out into these three categories: the laryngopharynx, which is right behind your larynx, the oropharynx, which is right behind the oral cavity, and then the nasopharynx, which is right behind the nasal cavity. In a slightly oversimplified world, this is the space that's responsible for adding depth and richness and warmth to the timbre, or adding brightness and twang to the timbre. That result is entirely dependent on how the muscles around this area engage and release. We're going to separate these muscles out into a few groups. You've got muscles that can make this space shorter or longer, muscles that can engage lateral to medial narrowing, and muscles that can give us anterior to posterior narrowing, so front to back space. All of those movements are going to give you slightly different sound qualities. So whether you want the general brightness of a high larynx, or that ringy soul of a retracted tongue, or that bright edge of twang from the constrictors, is going to be dependent on what muscles you choose to use here. Not to mention, if your student is over-engaged in any of these areas, knowing what to listen for and what exercises are going to help to introduce different movement pathways is going to be crucial. These are all things we talked about at length in our Ped-Head primer with the incredible carryover, and those 2 lectures that are hanging out in the library are not going to be there forever. In fact, they're disappearing at the end of this month. So if you want to get in on the most updated research regarding pharyngeal shaping, come join us in Ped-Head Primer Monthly. Happy teaching!